Welcome to Breast Intentions, the podcast where we take off the bra of expectations and dive into honest, empowering conversations. We're your hosts, Nadine and Cynthia, two Canadian girls who swapped snow boots for flip-flops in the Cayman Islands. This is your space to feel seen, supported, and a little less alone. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of champagne and get ready for your weekly handful of truth, wellness, and empowerment. Welcome back to Breast Intentions. This is now episode 3. In episode 1 and 2, we talked about the who of breast intentions. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the what, the where, the when, the why of the Breast Intentions podcast that we're doing. And we'll talk a little bit about our experiences with midlife and why it sometimes feels like a roller coaster without a seatbelt. So,
okay. Well, so let's go on to the reason really for why we started this. And we're two girlfriends who are navigating midlife. Mm-hmm. We're both going down completely different roads.
Yeah.
And the end goal, though, for both of us is to end up in the same spot, where it's to feel good about ourselves, mm-hmm. to learn about ourselves, and to just feel comfortable in our bodies and live life probably to the best of our ability.
Exactly. Yeah. And we want to make it clear that we are going through different paths, and mm-hmm. there isn't one path that is the right path in midlife, and that there are going to be possibly many different paths to go down. And we're going to chat about some different things that can help during midlife and give lots of options, give lots of information and education to empower everybody to make the choices that are best for them.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why we really started this as well was because we do know a lot of people who are going down many different paths, but sometimes there can just be a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And we're not really sure what to do, where to go. And we're not here to solve any of that. We're just here to give the best information from some of our experts that we're going to have on the show, mm-hmm. and different options, mm-hmm. and different insights into things. And for people to also share their stories so that you don't feel as alone.
Yeah.
Right.
And creating that community that we've talked about, that we want to create a community and a place for conversations, and so we feel seen, supported, a little less alone in the journey.
Right. And what we're about is, again, still just giving a space for women. And I love the name. And I've had so many comments on the name Breast Intentions as well.
Yeah.
And
so why did we choose Breast Intentions?
I know. Well, I can say that one of the, you came up with the name, and immediately, sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, let's just look at other options, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. And as soon as you said it, I was like, we don't even need to look at other names at all or anything like that. But to kind of like put everything together, Breast Intentions, we're just putting, our best intentions for everyone out there.
Yep.
But then also with the breasts.
Mm-hmm.
And then we knew that we wanted to incorporate champagne or sparkling rosé. And when I started doing some of the deep dive down Pinterest, I think it was, I was looking up all of the different types of glasses that you can use. And I've always wanted to use these types of glasses. But then I was trying to find glasses. I think I was actually trying to find champagne glasses that had boobs on them or something like that.
Right, yeah.
And that was when I learned that Marie Antoinette, the coupe was actually
molded.
Off of her breast. So I'm like, couldn't be any more perfect.
Right. And since we're talking about the champagne, we are going to be talking about, wellness and health. Yeah. Does champagne or sparkling wine, sparkling rosé, does that fit into wellness, health, mm-hmm. a health journey?
Yeah. And that was brought up as well. Someone had questioned me about putting it on the show, and, why are you doing that when you're talking about health and mm-hmm. wellness and women, and, how does that result in like weight and weight loss and stuff like that? But there's this huge side of just being able to live life and being able to enjoy life and not do things from a restrictive side.
100%. Yeah.
Because it just comes back to bite you in
the
the butt.
boomerang or the,
Yeah.
what's
Like
the slingshot.
Oh, slingshot. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you pull back, and then you go full force into
100%.
whatever you didn't
Yeah.
trying to pull back on.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, it's within moderation and choosing high quality alcohol, I think helps too. That has that low, what's it called? The low, I forget what it's called, but where you're not feeling the effects for days, or for hours after. It's
well, and even just talking about it, and we'll talk about it throughout the episodes, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things throughout the episodes, even with some of our guest experts. But knowing that there is still a time and a place to be able to do this and to still be able to enjoy things. And just a big shout out to our friend Frank Schilling for the Aphrodise and generously giving us a lot of bottles that we get to enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's very good. And cheers.
Oh, that's really good.
It is good. It is good.
So the mission for the podcast, we already touched on a little bit, to create the community, to feel seen, supported, heard, a little less alone, breaking the taboos. Get it? Taboos around women's health, whether that's perimenopause, menopause, mental health, body image, all the things. Career
was another big one too.
Career during midlife. And just having the conversations. We don't want to be silenced anymore. We want these conversations to be out and open and normalized, I guess.
Yeah. And I think one of the cool things too about living down here on this little island of ours is that there are so many amazing experts that are down here, and we have them all.
Yeah.
We have them all on a list. And we are going to be inviting them into the studio so that we can actually sit down and they can share a bit of information. So if you are a listener that lives in the Cayman Islands, you may actually have more access, like from listening to now go and see certain people.
Right.
And, we'll have everything from chiropractors to dentists to doctors to even other people that are just, not even in the medical field as well.
I agree.
Sharing their stories.
We'll have men, we'll have women, we'll have all ages, not just, not just people going through midlife, because I think that everybody has a story and everybody has knowledge and information that, they've learned through their journey, that we can learn from that as well.
Right.
But also, this is a podcast mainly focused on women's health and women's wellness, but I don't think it's just a podcast for women. I think it would be beneficial for men to also listen, because although women are the ones technically going through this midlife journey, the men are also there with them a lot of the time, whether it's, your husband, your brother, your dad, I don't know, anybody in your life that is witnessing your boss. Yes.
Yeah. That can coworkers even just learn a little bit.
Yeah. And it's good for them to be aware of also the things that can happen in midlife and, how tough it can be sometimes, and maybe what the women in their life are going through.
Right. And creating that space as well for people to feel comfortable enough to ask the questions or listen when people are wanting to share.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other really good thing about what it is living down here and being able to have people and invite them onto the show is that they are able to share their story and you're able to relate.
Yeah.
And not feel, like we had said in our mission, feel a little less alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready to share some info about yourself?
Yes. So let's talk about why midlife is like a roller coaster without a seatbelt.
Okay. So, question number 1. What's been the weirdest or most surprising thing that your hormones have done lately?
Lately, I've had really bad allergies.
Oh, the histamines.
Yes. Yeah. Would never have known that.
Yeah.
But let's see if I can get this correct. When your estrogen decreases, your histamine increases.
Yep.
And that can make you have allergies.
Yes.
And which is insane. I didn't even know that. I was at work one day and I was achoo, 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 achoo. And then 15 minutes later, achoo, achoo, like for the whole day. Everybody's like, go home. I'm like, I'm fine.
Right.
I feel fine.
Yeah.
But it's just like sneezing and like blowing my nose every 5 minutes. And then I come to find out that, it's the decrease in estrogen is putting my hormones all out of whack.
It's also alcohol. Where women will start to notice a big difference with alcohol, the sneezing,
okay,
or the stuffiness. That
interesting, almost like an allergy.
Yeah, the histamines.
Oh,
and even
I would say I've noticed that.
Yeah,
I do notice. Not every time I have something to drink, but sometimes
it'll depend on what it is that you're drinking. And some of the things that I do with my clients, like kind of going back to the reason why we have the alcohol here, is it will, like, certain alcohol will bug people,
right?
Or will bug women, especially when the estrogen starts to drop. But what I have them do is like actually just try and find what it is that works for them.
Okay.
So, champagne might be out now, but you can go
red
for
wine might be okay,
yes,
or
certain
tequila.
Or
okay.
Yep.
That is interesting. I have noticed that. I didn't really think much of it. I think the first time I noticed it, I was like, oh my God, don't tell me I can't drink anymore. Like, am I now allergic to alcohol? Can't be. And just kind of shrugged it off.
Yeah.
But then a couple other times I was like, nope, ignore it. It'll go away.
Yeah. Seafood as well can sometimes show up. The itchiness on the hands.
Okay.
Is usually
I haven't had
indicator.
that. You've had that?
I haven't. Yes, I have. So, it's that thing where people will say to you, yeah, but I've never had an issue before. And I'm like, well, your hormones have not been the same.
Right.
Right? Like, these are doing one of these.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you got to try and catch it. But it also means that, or doesn't mean that you have to forego things. It's just the matter of taking the time and being patient and trying to find what actually works for you.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe coming off of it for a little bit of time too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Would you say midlife is like a second puberty? If so, what's your most ridiculous teenager moment recently?
Oh, my teenager moment. Oh,
do you have
I didn't know that question was coming. So yes, second puberty. And if you didn't hear, I guess it would have been episode 1. Some really great information was given to me probably a year or two ago. And the woman had said to me that think about your hormones as in 3 different stages. So ages 12 to around 25 is when we're going through puberty and we're trying to understand our bodies. We're trying to understand our cycles. We're trying to understand our hormones. We're sorting through the acne, all of that kind of stuff. And then from about 25 to 40, you get to ride the wave. You know when your cycle's coming, and this isn't for everyone because there's obviously a lot of people that still struggle with hormones, but it's a little bit more of an easier ride. Sometimes we don't remember though what it was like when we were younger. And then around, let's say 40 to 60 is where we're actually going into that second puberty. So now we're starting to learn our bodies all over again. We're starting to try to understand our hormones and all of these different things that our body's going through. So it's definitely a second puberty. And I think that is a really good way to explain it and for people to also understand and give themselves a little bit of grace.
Yeah, exactly.
As well. As far as a teenager moment, no, I was going to say anxiety, but I don't really remember having anxiety when I was a
more
kid.
Fearless when we're teenagers, aren't we?
Yeah. Ooh, I can't think of anything.
No.
I
found it funny. I can't remember who posted it now. I think I've seen it in a couple different places now. On like Instagram, somebody I follow had posted a story and said like, who thought it was a good idea to make me a mom and my teenager going through puberty at the same time I'm going through perimenopause?
Yes.
Like, whose idea was this?
Yeah. I think I've seen a couple of other ones where it's the household now is mom going through perimenopause, your teenage kids going through puberty,
right.
and then like someone, I guess dads they were referring to, is
yeah.
like ADHD or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I've seen those.
Everybody's got something going on.
Yeah. No, I can't really think though of a teenage moment at all. So well, we'll go to the next question.
All right.
Okay. So sleep is a hot topic, especially during midlife. How is your sleep these days? And have you tried anything that actually works?
My sleep is great. It's probably one of the best things I've got going on. I've said in episode 2, I try to go to sleep around the same time every day. I wake up around the same time every day. I try not to nap unless I'm super tired, which would only happen on the weekend anyway. But on the weekend, I also give myself grace. Like I don't put an alarm on most of the time if I don't have anything going on. So I can kind of get up whenever, which might be an hour later than I usually do, 2 hours later than I usually do. But I think that helps is that the bed at the same time, waking up around the same time. That schedule for me, I think helps. The other thing that I think is helping, I tried magnesium. I tried the first one I got. I did not notice a difference. I was like, this is garbage. I don't know why everybody's touting this. And it was like, I want to say it was just an all round everything magnesium.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't working. And then I saw a post, I think it was Dr. Jolene Brighton, that broke down the different magnesiums and which one was the best. And the one that's really good for sleep is the glycinate. Yeah. So then I switched and I was like, okay. I like immediately stopped.
Yeah.
And
were you taking citrate?
I think I was taking, it was like a 3-in-1, or 4-in-1. I don't know. It was like a multi.
Yeah.
And when I switched, amazing.
Yeah.
I take it every night.
Yeah.
Before bed and I sleep well.
Good for you.
Yeah. I think that helps. I also think other things like exercise, and I do the sauna. I don't do a cold plunge if it's in the evening, but the sauna, if I'm at the gym, I'll do that. I think that helps me relax.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
What about you? How's your sleep? What time did you wake up today?
Yeah. What time did I wake up today? 4:00.
Not on purpose.
No, where there could have been, like in the past, if I were to be woken up, I was always able to get myself back to sleep. And now it's like the littlest thing. And all I want to do is cry.
Yeah.
All I want to do is cry because I just know how badly I'm going to suffer for the rest of the day.
Right.
And for me, probably where it started to become more apparent, I'm just trying to think of if it was 2 years. I think it was 2 years ago. I started struggling probably about 7 days before my period.
Oh, okay.
With the worst thoughts at night when I was going to bed. All of a sudden, I would remember something from 8 years ago that someone said that pissed me off.
Then you can't stop thinking about it.
And I'm having a conversation in my head with this person.
I should have said this.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And then also like just thoughts of, you think about your child or you just think about work and you think about all these things. And,
if I go to sleep now, I'll get 5 hours sleep. And then you're still awake an hour later. If I go to sleep now, I'll get 4 hours sleep.
Yes.
If I go to sleep now, I'll get, it's like the countdown.
So the anxiety was just really, really bad. And that was when I took my lab work to my naturopath.
Right.
And he had me do the magnesium glycinate, and I take that every single day. I do not deviate from it.
Yeah.
And it's actually something that I share with a lot of the DNA consults that I do as well, because what it does is it detoxifies the brain. So it's almost like it helps your brain dump at night so that you can go into more of a deeper sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you wake up feeling more refreshed.
Right.
You just kind of go into that.
I definitely feel like I get more of a deeper sleep.
Yeah. Just like a different state. Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm on, like more of a natural type of progesterone that I take at night.
Okay.
But I only really need to take it for the last 7 to 10 days before my cycle. I don't need to take it in the first 2 weeks. I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And I sleep, and I have the Aura ring as well. And it gives me, it will like.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I've had my eye on one.
It's
haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Helpful.
Yeah.
And I will see that on ovulation, everything changes for me, and it all goes downhill. All of my sleep goes downhill.
I mean,
my
it's
heart rate
so
goes up.
important to know this, right?
Yeah.
Like I this is something that I wish I had done. Like we had talked about how we wish we had done supplements sooner.
Yeah.
Like I fully wish I tracked my cycle, knew, because there's like the 4 different phases and when is best to exercise, when is best to be productive, when is best. And I wish I tracked all that back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of too late for that now for me.
Oh, yeah.
But-
no, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as everything else goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So burnout, hitting differently in midlife. How do you know when you're nearing burnout, and what do you do to pull back?
Yeah. I think previously I would have just go until burnout.
Okay.
And just let myself burn out. And now it's sort of being aware of it ahead of time and trying to anticipate it coming, or not even letting it get there.
Right.
I can feel it in my body. I think my body gets heavy when I'm feeling done, like when I'm at that stage or getting close to that stage. So I think just previously I would have just kept going. Now I think I rest. I stay home. I sleep more.
You recognize it.
I recognize it now.
Yeah.
And I try not to even put myself in that position. Like I try before I would work 10 to 12 hour days and be like, okay, this is just me working. Not take a lunch, keep going, or lunch at my desk and work while I'm eating and stuff like that. I try not to do that anymore. Like I try to do my 8 hours, 9 hours, and then call it a day.
Right.
Yeah. And just try not to get into those, but taking vacations, taking time off, even if it's not to leave the island, but to spend time with myself and not be working. So I think I'm more aware of it now and trying to get in front of it before it even happens.
I probably would say though that, I don't know, I guess people can argue this one, but sometimes that is what took us to where we're at now.
Yeah.
In terms of like, even in a good way, in terms of career, where, not that I'm telling people to go and do that, but there was a time, I think, that it happened for a lot of people. The problem is that now we just have the residual.
Yeah,
of it.
Exactly. I couldn't do that now.
No.
Like the working 12 hours and keep going. No. I could then. So I did, I guess.
Yeah. And I think if anything, it's just maybe trying to figure out where that point is.
Yeah.
And not continuing to keep on going
to
be a hero kind of thing. But I do think that there is a certain level of burnout for a lot of us that did get us to where we're at today.
Yeah.
And kind of like what I was saying is just now trying to figure out how to deal with the residual from that and learn from it, and not, continue to keep on working, know when to take breaks, know when that you actually need to stop because it is affecting more of your health.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have you had one of those "who am I even anymore" moments? If you have, what brought it on? How did you handle it?
I would say just recently, it's probably forgetting words, forgetting things as well.
Okay.
It's not the "who am I even" anymore. It's like I have just turned into my mother. Oh boy, she's going to kill me.
No, I'll say phrases and I'll be like, and I'm my mom.
Or it's like, oh yeah, she used to forget the keys over there, and now I have just done it myself. Right. And you just all of a sudden realize like that something has changed, and you are now just a completely different person. And probably for me, it's the forgetting words, and then just forgetting things.
Okay.
And I think part of that is burnout.
Yeah.
Part of that is brain fog.
Yeah.
Obviously, hormones, age, everything. Just being, up to here with too many things. But
I've definitely had what is the word that I have it often enough where sometimes I feel like people must think I'm not very smart.
Stupid.
Yeah. Because I can't find the right word, or I'm trying to have a conversation and it's all choppy because I'm kind of not finding the right words. And it just sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about or.
Yeah. Well, and I think we're going to talk about this later on down the line, obviously with a guest, but the whole, there is stats on it where women have left the corporate world because they feel that exactly.
Yeah.
And there's so much help that's out there.
Yeah.
For them so that they don't have to go down that route. Divorces happen as well. But especially in the workplace where a woman all of a sudden does not feel confident enough to speak in the boardroom anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
I fully get that.
Yeah. My heart goes out to a lot of those people. Yeah. So do you feel like you're making any progress navigating midlife right now?
I definitely do. For me, I started taking hormone therapy, HRT, a couple months ago. And that to me has made a huge difference.
That fast?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's maybe been, actually, no, it's probably been 3 or 4 months. I don't know. It's been a while. But I did know. I would say it took probably about
3 weeks.
3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I started noticing a difference.
Yeah.
It's not like a magic cure-all. Like it doesn't take away everything and I don't feel like I'm 25 again. But it's taken the edge off. Like it's helped clear out some of that brain fog and it's helped me do what I need to do, I think, as far as other self-care and other things that help me through this journey.
Right.
I was struggling. Like it was very, very difficult for me every single day. And I was at my wit's end. And so this to me has been huge in helping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Yeah. I'm really happy. I don't want to stop. I still have some symptoms. Like I said, it's not like a magic cure all. It doesn't fix everything. But there are other things that I can do, which I'm trying to do. Right. To help manage that. But without the HRT, I don't know that I would be in the right space mentally to take on all these, take it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Progress for me, taking midlife. Yeah, probably, I guess in a similar but different way is I'm more supplementation right now. There will be a time that I'll go down that route. What we're trying to do right now is just kind of hang on until it's like fully needed. And what it is that I'm doing right now is working.
Right.
But probably for me, where it was the most beneficial is getting my labs done.
Yeah.
And that is the only way, I guess, for me to know that I'm making progress. Well, symptoms as well. Yeah. Obviously, I know that I'm making progress that way. But
it is nice to see it on paper, though.
It is. Yeah. And actually, even seeing that as well also makes you more inclined to continue to keep on doing what you're doing. But like we said at the beginning of this podcast, is there are so many different routes that you can go. And I think if I can offer one piece of advice, it's to not give up and think that you're a lost cause. Yeah. Because there are so many, and there's great doctors down here as well. And I've even heard someone say the other day that she was talking to a particular doctor down here, and he had said, because she actually had said, I just give up. Yeah. Because, you know, what it was that she was currently using just stopped working. Yep. And he had said to her, he goes, do not give up. There are still so many other options and so many other routes that you can take. But one of the things that I would also say is you can't just lean on the medication or the HRT or the supplementation. Exactly. Like you were saying, you have to do the work. Yep. And it can be hard. You need to look into fitness a bit more. You need to look into nutrition a bit more. And one of the things that our professor said in the menopause program that I was in is she did say, I'm not going to lie. She goes, it is going to be harder. You do have to work that little bit harder compared to what it was before. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's like you said, it's not just the HRT itself. You have to do other things in your world. Yeah. And it's give it, like I would say, before taking it, I had very little motivation outside of, you know, going to work every day.
after that, I was, I think, isolating myself even a little bit.
Yeah.
Not wanting to be out, just I'm happy in my little bubble at home. But now I have more of that motivation back. I have more of that spark to learn a bit more, try a bit more, get out and do things a bit more, like exercise, like seeing friends, even doing all the things.
Well, and the other thing too is it can present as something else too, if you're not seeing the proper help.
Oh,
As in,
exactly.
it presents as a depression or
100%.
anxiety.
I went to a doctor and was talking about it. And there was a lot of information in the 80s, 90s about how HRT is dangerous as far as breast cancer goes.
Even the beginning of the 2000s.
Even that late.
Yeah.
So I think that she was still kind of, this has now come back, like they've done more research and have now come back to say that that information was false or it was misled. And it's not actually that as dangerous as was expected. Long story short. But this doctor was kind of under that view of, no, it's not safe for you. My mom had breast cancer, so I was at a bit of a higher risk. They do these scores with the computer and whatever. And I was at the very low end, but it was still there. So she was apprehensive about it and then she suggested going on antidepressants. And I was adamant that no, that's not what I needed.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that I do have a second doctor here that I could talk to about it. And she was more open to it and was like, okay, well, we'll be proactive and we'll, get scans done and make sure the mammograms are done regularly and all the things. But and
we're not disregarding anxiety or depression at all with this, but it's more just looking at other things as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, and I could have just kind of went, okay, well, if that's what you're suggesting, let's try it. But something in me knew that's not what I needed. And that wasn't the answer because I didn't feel depressed. It felt different.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, good for you.
Thanks.
Well, it's good.
No, it is
good. To go to another doctor and just say, I don't feel right about this. Or even just say, like, I just need a second opinion. And I just want to know what another doctor is going to say, what my other options are that are out there. And then you can decide for yourself, which you did.
Yeah.
So what is one piece of advice or perspective that you've heard about midlife that's really stuck with you?
Well, going off that last conversation, I would say is to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
If it doesn't feel right, speak up, say something. That I would, to see what's out there, see what the research is saying, see what other doctors are saying. Like I had been aware of other people who also had breast cancer in their family and who were taking HRT. So, and this was somebody that, is reputable and trusts the science. So advocate for yourself. If something doesn't feel right, talk about it, ask more questions, get more information, and be your own advocate. Yeah.
And there's no harm. And I think where sometimes people struggle is you don't want to ask.
Yeah.
You don't want to question.
Well, and especially being the generation that we are, like Gen X, like we're told to just, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Right? You get what you get. You don't get upset. Yeah. So I think that's part of how we were brought up too is, don't make waves. Just that person's busy. Just say thank you and get on with your life.
Right.
So it is more difficult, I think, for us to stand up for ourselves because it feels like we're doing something wrong.
Right. Yeah.
But we're not.
No. And I agree with you. That's what my answer would be as well. Is just advocating for yourself. And I say that to my clients all the time as well, is it's totally fine. Like you can always go in and see your doctor and sit and listen and get your labs done. And if you feel that you're not sure about the route that they want to go or the information that they're giving, ask the questions, advocate for yourself. So,
yeah. Have you ever Googled something about midlife health? Well, recently. Have you recently Googled anything?
don't know if I would say Googled, but I guess just in conversation where things have been brought up, and the whole teeth thing, about the teeth becoming loose, which, you know, has been said to me. And I'm like, that is like not a menopause or, you know, midlife thing. Apparently it is.
Yeah. I think, I want to say, I could be wrong, but I feel like I heard that like 50% of women, half, going through like perimenopause, menopause, will lose a tooth.
How cute.
Do you put it under our pillow?
Could you imagine?
It's so crazy. I never would have thought. But yeah, there's dental changes in our mouth, in our dental stuff as we go through. Well, dry mouth for sure, we've heard of. And like that, I had like a funny taste in my mouth. There's a burning tongue. I don't know if that's the same metal kind of taste that I had back in the day. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
But
dry eyes as well. I guess the dry mouth, you know.
Yeah, it all kind of goes. Dry everything.
Dry everything.
Everything. So yeah, we're going to have some guest experts like a dentist perhaps, to chat a little bit more about our oral health.
Yeah. And the tooth fairy.
We'll ask about that.
Better be some bigger bills under the pillow.
I would think. Sure. Keys, new car. No. All right.
What's one question or symptom you've heard from someone else that made you think, wow, same?
I don't know. I can't think of anything off that. It feels like everything, like any typical symptom I think of. You?
The anxiety side of things. Because you'll have a conversation with someone and all of a sudden you're like, you were going through the exact same thing. And so I'll usually be like, so when's your period due?
Right. And
they're usually like, you know, in 7 days or whatever. And I was like, I've been there.
It's all around. It's a little bit the same. I feel like I noticed it recently because I went on kind of a long trip, and holy, like packing anxiety, having to go to the airport, having to navigate all that, like all the things. And it's not difficult things. Like I've done it a million times, it feels like, but it's just now it feels heightened. And it's just like that anxiety, like, well, got to get to the airport. I got to go through security, and then I got to make sure I'm there early enough, and I got to make sure I pack all the things. And what if I forget some of the things? Like, I never had that before. It's like, oh, trip. Yeah, let's go. Throw a couple things in a suitcase. Let's go. And now I have this out of nowhere.
And now you're seeing your mother.
There she is.
See, my anxiety showed up. You know, I wish it was more something like that. Mine just came out of nowhere, where it was actually debilitating. Yeah. And it was, I always say to people too, that it was things that I didn't even really want to share with people. It was that kind of anxiety where I had, you know, concerns about my son. I would have thoughts that all of a sudden I would be laying in bed, or I would be sitting here working, and I would have these thoughts that my son's going to go and walk in a parking lot and a vehicle is going to back up.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Those are the things that I started to think about.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just like random thoughts.
Yeah. Very, very weird.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, and I do have to say that, like, from the blood work that I did and from the help that I had from my doctor and from my naturopath, it was completely squashed.
Good.
Yeah. Within a week.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And that's why usually when I do hear someone talk about some of their anxieties and stuff like that, I will kind of jump in and just say, like, how old are you? Or, you know, have you had your hormones checked? Or what's your cycle like? And
because I can see people kind of thinking there's no solution and just living with that for a long time.
And there's a lot of people that do.
Yeah.
So we probably have a ton more questions that we could go through, but we'll leave them for now because we do need to save some stuff for some of our our experts for when they come.
Yeah.
And to get their stories too, right? And just have
We'll share more throughout.
Yeah. But we are encouraging any of our listeners to send us your story, send us questions.
Mm-hmm. What do you want us to talk about?
Yeah. Or what experts do you want us to bring onto the show? Or what are some questions that we can ask some of the experts? And, I love listening to people's stories, and I love having people even send me their stories and tell me their stories. So if anyone does want to do that, please reach out. And I guess you're going to hear from us in episode 4, where we are going to have our first guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll keep that one under wraps though for now.
You have to come back and see.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on Breast Intentions. We hope you felt seen, supported, and maybe had a few laughs along the way. Don't forget to share, subscribe, rate, and review us. Your support keeps the conversation alive. Follow us on social media for more insights, behind-the-scenes fun, and updates on future episodes. Got a topic you want us to dive into? We'd love to hear from you. Remember, life's too short for bad bras, toxic relationships, and kale you don't actually like. So until next time, stay bold and keep your breast intentions exactly where they belong, front and center. Now go crush midlife, or at least today's to-do list. Cheers!